spoon.
What they were trying to do. Once they said, okay, we got a few subscribers.
Hamada burger.
And there's like
Brioche.
20 million.
Toasted. Hamada caramelized onion. Crudité. Lechuga. Hamada burger. Hamada spoon. Salt. Burger flip. Time to put a bit more crust on the other side. I use these red Leicester slices. Very easy. Easy with you, you know. Get a glass of water. Splash. Cover. Done. Now we prepare the burger. Mayonnaise. Fuck. Ketchup. Lettuce. This is iceberg that I've shredded up with a knife. Tomatoes, little ones. 3. Season. Caramelized onions. Okay. Good. Okay.
Some real stinkers there that he was the executive producer of.
Hamada burger. Well, technically this isn't the Hamada burger. Technically this is just my burger, Freddie Lauder's burger.
Specifically what I was told is that so this is a source to have almost all of the DC stuff over to BR. So
It has a nice weight to it. Can hold it in my hand.
Try and make like their version
And eat it.
away from slight snipes.
Bon appetit, my friends. Hamada burger.
And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing.
Exactly. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Small Screen Stories. I hope you're doing well. Before I go into the comments and say hello to everybody, we are going to be talking about the SnyderVerse tonight. We're going to be talking about the SnyderVerse's numbers specifically in...
So that's
Jeez, is that true?
that's the
Yes, Elon, that is true. We are going to be doing that. So we're going to be looking over the numbers. We're going to be talking about the SnyderVerse, the future of the SnyderVerse, if there even is one. Hopefully, fingers crossed there is. And we've got Clint that's going to come on the show as well. And probably James is going to be dropping by every now and again. And putting in those clips as well. Right, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Right, who can we start off with? James, bring up the chat. Right, just came here to hit the like button, says Dan Zig. Dan Zig, 1979. I hope you're doing very well, Dan. Yeah, I think it's late in the, well, it is late in the UK. It's 1 o'clock in the UK, so he's got work tomorrow. Yeah, he said, I've got work tomorrow, so I'll have to catch the show on replay tomorrow. Knock 'em dead, fellas. Thank you very much, Dan. We'll do it for you. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Jinkanet? Jikanet says gonna feel the love for how China could enjoy the Snyder Cut. We're gonna be talking about that. The numbers are insane. The numbers for the Snyderverse in China are insane. Let's thirst. They really do have a lot of bat thirst in China. Who else do we have? We have E. Rodriguez, 2K says China loves Zack Snyder's Justice League? ? We will see. Yes, we will see. We will see how much they love Zack Snyder's Justice League. And who else do we have in the chat? We have as well. I'm seeing people come in. They adore it, says E. Rodriguez 2K. We have Miss W. Mir. China loves it. Yes, they do. They do love it. Who else do we have in the chat? We have
Woosa.
Sean Harrigan says all prosthetic legs must be checked before cocaine. Exactly. Are we going to get the clip?
Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
Cocainum. And then cocainum better than Hamada Burger. Ooh, who knows? If it's Freddy's Hamada Burger, then probably not. I don't know. Hamada Burger time, says E Rodriguez 2K. It is Hamada Burger time.
Hamada Burger. Hamada Burger.
Who else do we have? We have Hamada Burger time. Everyone's really loving these Hamada burgers.
So we are in the process.
Wish I held onto a little piece of that thing, because the buzz is any indicator, that movie's gonna make some huge bank.
What buzz?
The internet buzz.
What the fuck is the internet?
What is the internet? I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers is asking themselves that question every single day. Freddie says, "Sil, yeah, Freddie cooked that, and it's a very, very good burger. I think he's going to be doing some Toby fries next, so hopefully he."
Welcome to Super Team Megaforce. I am not Edward Lauder.
No, Sil is not Edward Lauder. He is not. I am Edward Lauder.
Go over there and hit the fucking like button. All right, you hit it now. You motherfucking hit the fucking like. I just told you to hit the motherfucking like button. So you gotta do it right now. Do it.
Hit it. Hit the like button. German accent. I think you're talking about Freddie there. No, he's doing some weird accent. I think he's trying to do my Matt Berry impression. I think.
Hamada Burger. Hamada Burger. Hamada Spoon.
Hamada Spoon. That's the best bit of that video. Prince Zodiac says, "Hey everyone, hey to Prince Zodiac. I hope you're doing well." Who else do we have in the chat to say hello to?
Hello there.
Hello there. We have Prince Zodiac says Hamada Burger. Yes, we do love that Hamada Burger. That burger fire. Says Sil. People loving these burgers. E Rodriguez 2K says that burger was girthy. Yes, it was. It was girthy. And hi, Captain Britain. Yes, I know. I've got Captain Britain as my name. It's one of those jokes. It's just a joke that I'm gonna do a different name every time. And I just thought, let's start off with Captain Britain. Right, who else do we have in the chat? We have like the Justice League, says Lelouch v Britannia Comrades U. Yeah. I think you must be new here, mate. But good for you if you love the Justice League. That's the thing. That's the thing you can like. I mean, who knows? Maybe Clint likes the Justice League. So I could see he's desperate to talk now. Hill Avery says, "Where's the US SnyderVerse fans? Why are the US HBO Max numbers so low?" Well, they're not. They're not that low. They aren't as low as people will have you believe. It's actually quite high. And actually, if you go and watch Sil's show he did with I can't remember his name now. Dr. Silverman, I think is his name, from Samba TV. They do go and discuss that, and they talk about how the numbers on HBO Max are actually far bigger than, they're actually pretty huge. Or if you're going to compare them to Wonder Woman 1984 and other movies that have come out on that platform.
Yeah.
So it's just that Warner Brothers doesn't want those numbers to come out officially. Right, who else do we have in the chat? We have John McIntyre's here. Hello, John. You were very nice to me on Twitter, so I hope you're doing well. Says, does the Knuckle Suppers special come with... Did we just
become best friends? Yeah.
Yes, we did. Or is that separate? So the Knuckle Supper...
Call it, Sanchez, or you'll get a Knuckle Supper.
There you go. That's for you. That's for you, John. And who else? Same Sonic, different cases. Hello there. Is he going to be...
request.
He doesn't.
Hello there.
But he does really. He does really. Right, who else do we have? Woosha. I don't know what this is all about. Woosha.
That means take a breath and slow down so I can find the clips in order. Get them queued up.
Okay. Sorry about that. Emmerich blocked Zack Snyder's Justice League in China theatrical release and also blocked the Atom movie. Warner Brothers is pissed at that. I wouldn't say Warner Brothers is pissed because Toby Emmerich is still currently Warner Brothers chairman. So they blocked a theatrical release in China. There are reasons why they did that. One of the main reasons is it's actually quite difficult to get a film released in China. Another one is that they supposedly they felt it was too long. They didn't think it would do well enough, which is just rubbish. And also they don't want the Snyderverse to do well. So they deliberately stopped it. They prevented it from being released in China's in cinemas, which is what we're going to go into that in a minute. Who else do we have in the chats? We have this Hamada Burger Inc. Says Sil. It kind of is SnyderVerse Inc. And let's go on. Lol, Manny V. I hope you're doing well, Manny V. And shall we? I think we've got everyone. I think that's everyone that's in the chat. I think TJ's in the chat. So TJ ND.
No.
Oh no, I'm sorry, TJ. Apparently James doesn't want to bring up your comment. But okay, 30 in the chat. Let's get 10 more likes. Yes, please like and subscribe. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be wonderful. Like the video, subscribe. I'm going to be polite about it right now. I'll then go into my Michael Caine version in a bit if we're still not at the right number of likes. And at Sane Sonic Different Case, Sil says, "What up? Here to enjoy the show." Yes, Sil's here to enjoy the show. He's a very busy man, is Sil. So he's doing some other stuff, and he's very kindly watching the show whilst he's doing some other stuff.
Super Team Megaforce.
Yeah, he's getting ready for that. Who else do we have in the chat? We have Lelouch V. Britannia commands you. That's a very long name, mate. It's a good name, but quite a long one. I don't like the Justice League. Was a badly timed comment.
You're
Good.
fired.
And right, should we say TJ says that for Bada Burger, though I might change the protein. Interesting. And he says hello. So TJ, you did get your comments read out. I hope you're doing well, TJ. And then Clint says I'm in the chat. So should we also bring Clint into the show? Should we do?
How many more of these?
One more. Say hi to Leroy Kong. I always love his picture whenever I see it. He just looks like he doesn't take anything from anyone. You know, he's like all business, but he's super smile. You know?
Yes.
I bet he could
smile.
outclass the Hamada Burger for sure.
Oh, definitely. So hello to Leroy. I hope you're doing well. He says DC films would be dead without the SnyderVerse. Exactly. That's right. Should we bring in our guest?
And I do think that moving forward, there's more opportunities for us to do things like this. And really,
there you go. You got yourself introduced by Hamada himself.
What's up, Hamada?
How you doing, Clint?
I'm good. I just had a burger earlier before I jumped on. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm starving now. I'm actually really hungry after watching that. But when Freddie's here, I put on so much weight because Freddie just cooks all that kind of stuff. It's delicious, but it's makes you pile on the pants. How are you doing? Have you been watching what's been going on online?
I have, man. I'm. It's crazy. The numbers. I sent you some stuff the other night. You know, it's like man, it's nuts. It's what's really weird. Yeah. And what I'm talking about, because I feel like I just made a bunch of grunts and didn't really say anything, but like these China numbers on the Justice League are insane. And the more I tried to research them, I'd do a search for Justice League China, and like you cannot, I don't care how good at Googling you are, you cannot find anything. It's really hard to find information. And you would think, I don't know how you did, but man, I had, with the exception of stuff that was popping up on Twitter, it was really hard to find numbers. And I have a feeling, I don't mean to be a conspiracy guy or anything with a tinfoil hat or anything, but I have a feeling that people they don't want to know what's going on.
Yeah. No, they don't. And you're right. I suppose probably the only things you found were small screen articles when you were looking for it online.
I did. I found 2 of them.
And basically what's been going on here is just not being reported. And there is a guy on Twitter called Geralt of Las Vegas who has been reporting on this for quite some time now. And there are 3 platforms in China where the film is available. There's Migu Video, Tencent Video, and Bilibili, which are they're 3 quite well-known video platforms, streaming platforms in China. And over there, so again, these numbers, they're very big. Do bear in mind that it is trailer views and movie views kind of put together, because that's how they do it. That's how they report these numbers in China. So Migu Video at the moment is at 180 million. Tencent Video is at 20 million. And Bilibili is at 8.7 million. So the grand total, as it stands, this was a couple of hours ago, 208.7 million views in China. So again, that is a combination, but that is huge. It's still if insanity. It's like a fraction of that. Yeah, it's like miles over the 3.8 million they had in the first weekend, and this has just been released. Yeah. So what do you make of that?
I think it's crazy. Like I just don't understand what's going on with those guys, and I wonder if they're kicking themselves or if they don't care and they want to just keep pushing forward. Is it like, oh boy, we just blew it? But you know, it's things like that that make executives. It's money, it's dollar signs that make executives completely change course. So you know, we keep talking about keeping hope and stuff. Next week there might be a completely different plan. As hot and cold as this as Warner Brothers is, they do knee-jerk reactions to everything. They get bad numbers on something. They see Disney do something, and let's just hope that this convinces them to restore the Snyderverse finally, and then we win.
Exactly. Then we win. And
everyone wins.
Right. And everyone wins. Yeah. The Snyderverse fandom wins, mainly. That's the first thing. One of the interesting developments that's happened recently is the news that actually came from the Hollywood Reporter. I'm pretty sure you saw this, Clint. That it looks like Toby Emmerich's looking for a new job, specifically at Netflix. So he's got 18 months left on his contract at Warner Brothers. He's Warner Brothers chairman. And it's now being reported that he's now being floated for a job over at Netflix. So what do you make of that?
I hadn't read that. I've been really busy lately. That is crazy. I hope he doesn't go screw up Netflix, man. Netflix has really been doing some smart business moves recently, and so
I think that's gonna be really weird because if Zack Snyder does sign the exclusivity deal with Netflix, which I don't think he will, but he'll have a pretty hefty contract there.
Yeah.
Toby Emmerich goes in a VP position at Netflix. There's going to be some crazy static in that corporation.
Well, you know, we can pretend to know what goes on behind Warner Brothers and have theories on, but him and Tony Emmerich might get along fine at somebody else. It might be Ann Saronoff and you know, or somebody else, Walter Hamada. Who knows where the butting heads is and stuff. But it's definitely a crazy world out there.
Well, this is
the movie
the
business.
Thing. Yeah, it's insane in the movie business, and that would be a big move actually for Toby Emmerich because he's kind of been involved in before going to Warner Brothers. He was at New Line Cinema, which is now all under the same banner. So he's always been kind of in that family, and him moving to Netflix, I actually think that would be a really big deal. It would be interesting to see what would happen from that because Toby Emmerich supposedly was one of the executives that agreed to greenlight the Snyder Cut in the first place. But he was also one of the executives that was around when Zack Snyder was removed from the film in the first place. So, as I know of it, he's the one that doesn't want the Snyderverse to continue. So him leaving, it'd be interesting to see who AT&T, because it'll be AT&T putting someone in a position of power there, who they decide to put into that position. Again, this isn't like set in stone. It does come from the Hollywood Reporter, so it's a pretty big deal. You know, they don't tend to publish and also they tend to publish a lot of relatively negative stuff about Warner Brothers. So
oh really?
Yeah, they're one of the trades that's a bit iffy about Warner Brothers. But then there's also the news that Zack Snyder himself, in a recent interview with Zavi TV, which is actually interestingly enough a place I used to work for quite a while ago. I wrote for them a couple of times, and he spoke to them, and he was talking about.
Don't bullshit me.
No, I did. I was one of their first writers, actually. And he said that basically, I'll read out what he said. He said, "Yes, we have a fully fleshed out universe that we could drive into, but the truth is, Warner Brothers, I don't think they have any interest in continuing this storyline. You know, they are the keepers of the IP, and it's up to them. So I'm super happy with the way the movie turned out, and I love these characters. I'm super proud of them." And it's the bit where he says, the truth is, I don't think Warner Brothers has any interest in really continuing this storyline. So
it's like, fuck it. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. What do you think of that, Clint?
I mean, what do you do if a movie studio owns the rights to a storyline, doesn't want to go forward? What can you do?
Yeah.
I guess Zack Snyder could go work on other projects. Oh, that's what he's doing. You know, it's
exactly.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to have a lot of success. You know, it looks like it's going to be fantastic. So, I mean, there's not much you can do. It's what are you supposed to do? You can't.
At the same time, the fresh blood, the new kids on the block, the brand new suits of AT&T didn't give a rat's ass about the feelings of Warner Brothers executives and their egos.
Yeah,
you go, cutting you off mid-flow.
Yeah, totally. I was kind of stuttering anyway, but it's, I mean, you can't. It's not like you can go sign a petition and start a grassroots online hashtag thing where the fans petition to have the universe restored. Oh, never mind. I guess you can do that.
And on that, I think what we're going to say now is, I think, Clint, what you're saying is go and watch Army of the Dead. Is that right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, we all love Zack Snyder, and we need to just support him in whatever he's doing. And you never know. Like you said, Tony Emmerich is talking about going to Netflix. You don't know what executive is going to go here and there. There's going to be layoffs, people quitting, going off producing instead of being heads of departments and all kinds of things. So it's like, just keep supporting Zack Snyder, and we might have a whole nother crew in there next year. They might all get fired for screwing this whole mess up, you know?
Snyder's going to make Justice League 2 and 3 in his backyard.
Yes.
And he's gonna sell it, and you can only get it at bootleg copies at Comic Cons.
Yes.
Won't be able to find it online at all.
Exactly. And I think on that, Clint, well, I know that you have to be somewhere, don't you?
I do. I don't.
Yeah,
before he goes, I want to say, man, can we just appreciate how good he was in that Bad Batch review last week?
Well, I was gonna talk about that. It's incredible. So thank you, Clint, so much for doing that, because it was a brilliant review.
It was fun, man. Thanks for letting me ramble. I was gonna.
That's fine.
I'd be talking to myself in the mirror about it anyway. So at least I got to get a jump on YouTube. But yeah, it was great. I'm excited. And for those of you at home that don't realize it, because we just got the last episode, we're gonna have another episode in the middle of the night tonight. So tomorrow the new one comes out. So I'll be staying up. So we'll have a review about that one here coming up very soon too. So
awesome. So Clint, you're now. Yeah, go on, James.
Yeah, sorry. And if you're on our Patreon, then you can get all the behind the scenes goodies of Clint and I at like 4 a.m. trying to record this and just it's just a riot. I had tears last Friday. Or sorry, not last Friday, a couple of days ago when it came out. Yeah, all my days are mixed up right now. They blur together. But yeah, I had tears. He's trying to do the ending, and I
was so delirious by the end of it that I just kept messing up, and I'm like, hey, go to our socials. I mean, wait, no, damn it! We did it like 10 times. It was hilarious.
You wouldn't know if you watched the video. Honestly, it's seamless.
Right on, man.
It's seamless. And well, thank you so much for doing that. And you're going to be doing these shows. Hopefully, we'll time it a bit better so you can be on them for longer. But every Thursday, you'll be on with us.
Yeah, man.
Small Screen Stories.
I will be on with you guys anytime you guys need me. I will be there. And anything you guys need, you let me know. So
of course, and you can follow Clint at Clint Ridlin on Twitter. Is that right?
That's right, Clint Ridlin on Twitter.
The Black Shirt Podcast.
Black Shirt Podcast. You can see I may be rebranding my Black Shirt Podcast here in the near future.
Come on, do the voice. Do the voice.
Yeah. What?
Do the voice.
Baker Show.
The Clint Baker Show.
There you go.
You're listening to Small Screen with Edward Lauder.
I don't need to do this job anymore.
Well, that's your podcast, your audio podcast. So you want to have a different intro, which if anybody wants to listen to this show while they're at work or driving or something, you can listen to the podcast as well.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
On Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
That's right. Yeah, man, I'm excited, and I wish I didn't have to go, but I got to run. But thank you guys, and I will see you guys soon. And yes, sir. Thanks, guys, for having me, and everybody at home in the chat. We'll see you guys soon. Alrighty.
Cheers, Clint. Right. So I suppose what I'll do now, along maybe with James, if he wants to join in, is answer some of your questions about what's actually going on inside Warner Brothers with the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League in China. If you have any questions, do let me know. I will try and answer them to the best of my ability. But as it stands, it's over 200 million views in China on 3 different platforms, which is huge. That is just massive. And I honestly, this isn't something that I was expecting. I didn't expect it to do as well as this in China.
Wow.
It really makes me think, how much money could this movie have made if it had been released in China in theaters, where actually it's the one place in the world where cinemas are open, so it would have made money. So, I mean, let me know, and I'm pretty sure James will bring up some questions and comments as well. So Clint in the house. Well, Clint's just left the house. Yeah, and I can't pronounce the name. Jacanet, just for fun, says Warner Brothers wasted it and ignored it, and that's their biggest failure. It is Looney Tunes in action. They are former bros, as I know Sil likes to call them. We have at Silab. Well, this is Hill Avery for Sil Abdul says, I know the numbers aren't low by any means, but we needed huge numbers from HBO Max US. If it performed like in Canada, China, we would be way ahead. No offense to
Shots
US.
fired.
You guys did a lot. Now, this whole thing about like how well the movie did in the US, you have to factor in there are a number of people in the US that actually, I think you can buy the film on Google. No, in the US, I think
Google Play.
Yeah, so there are other metrics that you have to bear in mind as well. Like, I know people are saying that it didn't do as well as a lot of people were hoping it would do on HBO. The thing is that we still haven't had official numbers be released from HBO Max about the Snyderverse. We've had kind of everything else, really, as far as Mortal Kombat's concerned and Godzilla vs. Kong's concerned. But as far as the Snyder Cut's concerned, the only metric we've really had was from Samba TV for HBO Max, wasn't it, James? Is he there? He's not there.
I'm here. Yeah, Samba TV, and then there was another firm on Twitter that does sports analytics, and they compiled a bunch. But I don't know how legit that source is, but Sil could tell you that.
Yeah, and with Samba TV, you've got to take into the caveat that it's only the software they use, or the tech they use is only in certain TVs. It's only activated. You have to actually opt in for that sort of stuff to be present on your television, to be to work. This is technical stuff that I'm not very familiar with, but if you go and look at Sil's if you go and look on Samba TV's website, they do put that out in plain writing. And one of the biggest
and Sil explains that in detail, and it's the stream after he had Dr. Samba on his show.
Yes, Dr. Silverman.
I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, sorry, Dr. Jeffrey Silverman.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the big caveats is also that their tech isn't on on Samsung TVs, and that is they are the biggest seller of televisions in the world. So that, I mean, their numbers are pretty accurate. I'm pretty sure they are. They release numbers for everything, not just the Snyderverse and not just HBO Max. Incidentally, they recently revealed numbers about Line of Duty and how many people watch that in the UK. So they're on other platforms as well. But as far as like kind of official numbers are concerned, Samba TV is the only one we've really had as far as HBO Max and the Snyder Cut numbers on HBO Max. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the numbers are probably higher than people than we know in the US. But what we do know is that the interest for Zack Snyder's Justice League in China is insane, and this goes back to Zack Snyder talking about how he had an idea to make a China-based Atom movie. And I think this was before Justice League was done. I think he wanted this he pitched this to Warner Brothers, and they turned around and said, no, they're not interested in this. Zack Snyder knew from the very beginning, he knew how popular his Snyderverse was in China. He knew what a following they had. He knew how well it would do over there. The films all did pretty well over there, but there is an even bigger interest in it now. So this might be really big for the Snyderverse to continue, especially if someone like Toby Emmerich were to leave Warner Brothers. We don't know if that's happening. It's out there. He's talking to Netflix, apparently. Then it would really change things. It would really change things as far as the executives at Warner Brothers are concerned, because AT&T might just step in and say, you know what, let's change it. Let's change things up. Let's see what we can do. Again, as far as Zack Snyder's concerned at the moment, and Warner Brothers is concerned at the moment, the Snyderverse is dead. They don't want to continue with it. They want to continue on with Walter Hamada's universe, the Hamadaverse. They want his Hour Man films, Zatanna film, Black Superman movie with Bad Robot. They're looking at all sorts of different properties, IPs they can utilize to make movies and TV shows. So we mentioned this in the video. Actually, if you could, there's a video that we've just put up today that James spent hours and days editing. It's called "The Snyderverse is Dead," and it's a labor of love. So if you could check that out, that'd be awesome. And also give James a
lot of sleepless nights. Nights, but it was fun. Constructing that story off your articles and your notes, and then getting your Golden Boy voiceover, that was just absolutely brilliant.
At the same time, the fresh blood, the new kids on the block.
And I love that astronaut. That's my favorite part.
It's so good, and I haven't seen anyone use it. That's the funny thing about that. It's the first time I've ever seen it used. So W. Mir says, or at least AT&T steps in and cleans house. Yeah, that could be a thing they could do. They could, but again, AT&T is a parent company, and parent companies don't tend to get too involved really with the companies they own. They try and let them do what they want to do. Kind of, that's how it works. But they have done it in the past. And Sean Harrigan says Toby trying to run away. Yeah, it seems that way. If you read the article, it's very weird, the whole thing, because it's someone else. It's a guy called David Geffen that contacted Netflix, being like, "Hey, are you interested in Toby?" Then the CEO of Netflix said that he'd never got a call. So they're talking to people, but not the CEO of Netflix, by the looks of it. So who else do we have? We have. Let's bring it up. Give it to Abrams, says E. Rodriguez 2K. I'm not sure if that would be a very popular move, to be honest, but it's kind of what they're doing. They are giving a lot of stuff over to Bad Robot, at least. So there was the news that that Warner Brothers is looking specifically for a black director to direct the Black Superman movie. They did mention a bunch of names. Regina King was one of them that's been kind of put around there. I'm blanking on a lot of the names. I think Barry Jenkins was another one. But it's like there was a lot of kind of negative press around. Well, people on Twitter were very pissed off about this news. Rightly so, because they released it on Henry Cavill's birthday.
Yeah, that was such just again classic WB. Like, who runs their PR department?
I really don't know.
The Jar Jar?
Probably. So the directors are Barry Jenkins, Stephen Capel Jr., J.D. Dillard, Regina King, and Shaka King. Actually, Shaka King's been connected to all sorts of projects. Actually, connected to Blade most recently. That would be really cool if they get him involved. But I mean, fine. I understand getting a black director to direct Black Superman. It makes sense, but hopefully they get the right person for the job. Hopefully that movie will be as good as it possibly can be. Apparently it's going to be a period piece, is what I heard, set in the 20th century. That was the latest. And it will be Calvin Ellis. Right. Just for fun. I'm just going to call you Just for Fun. I'm sorry. I keep on forgetting. Toby Emmerich, I want to make job with Netflix. Netflix, you shall not pass. You shall not pass. There you go. That was my attempt at a gag.
No.
Fly, you fools. Watch Army of the Dead is a first step to make Warner Brothers crying. Yeah, very true. Very true. Watch Army of the Dead. It'll make Netflix very happy and Warner Brothers cry. And then you'll see Toby Emmerich jump over to Netflix. And then I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder will end up crying if that happens. It's like, I can't get away from you. Right, who else do we have in the chat? We have, I think, Justice League 2 Backyard Jam to Sassafras. True. That would be fun. I think that's something they should do, actually. They should do that just as a YouTube video or something. That'd be
big
hilarious.
Shout out to Sassafras for all the help on the latest video on small screen.
Thank you very much to Sassafras. That's a great name. And Justice League in Backyard. Yes. This seems to be a very popular idea. Sean Harrigan says, great review. I think that was relating to Clint Clint's review of Star Wars: The Bad Batch Episode 1. Episode 2 will be up shortly, won't it? I suppose tomorrow, will it, James?
Yeah, early this morning or early tomorrow morning. Yep.
James, yeah, I don't know. You're killing yourself, man. You need some sleep. Maybe you can go and sleep now.
After the show.
After the show.
After I take Mando out.
Exactly. Take Mando out. The dog. Hashtag boycott SnyderVerse. That's been trending a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people. That's been trending quite a lot. And yeah, you know what? I'm not going to say you should boycott all the films that come out, because honestly, I'm a DC fan and I just want to see these properties on screen. For instance, I'd be very, very excited to see them do The Question or The Spectre, or Mr. Miracle project. I'm actually really excited for Justice League Dark. I think that's a great property to put onto the small screen. I mean, it's really just the executives that are involved and what they've done to Zack Snyder that's been just awful. What they did to Ray Fisher, which is just terrible again. And also in that interview that Zack did with Zavi TV, he did actually mention that he would love to see a Cyborg movie, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. All right. What else do we have? We have David is in the chat. He says David, yes. He says, I'm boycotting DC movies this year. You see, this is I'm seeing a lot of people saying the same sort of thing.
The cat hard there.
Oh, sorry. Well, you could go back to the ones before that. Right. What else do we have? We have you made the producer cry. Bravo. Was that?
I'm not sure what in reference. Prince Zodiac. You could expand on that. That would be great. We're kind of lost right there.
Right, who else do we have in the chat? We have 2 million views equals money. Exactly. Yes, 2 million views is insane. It's a big number. Again,
200 million.
Sorry, 200 million. Exactly. Yeah, 200 million. It is almost 3 o'clock in the morning for me. 200 million is a lot, but you've got to. I do want to make sure that the caveat is mentioned that it is kind of an amalgamation. It's a combination of both views for the movie itself and the trailer. Even so, like even if the trailer got like 70% of those views, it's still a huge amount of views for the movie, like no matter what happens. And there is somewhere, I think there is a breakdown somewhere of what it is, and it's actually more it's more 50-50, which means 100 million views for the film, which is still huge. And it just means that there's a lot of interest in the film in China.
DLW is in the house.
What's up, guys? What's up to DLW? I hope you're doing.
Call it, Sanchez, or you'll get a knuckle supper.
That's for you. Who else?
If you guys can't tell, we're both pretty tired, so this is a pretty chill stream tonight. If you guys have any questions for Edward about the SnyderVerse, if you have any questions about Captain Britain casting, if you have any suggestions what you guys would like to see covered in the format we revealed today on small screen, please leave some suggestions there, and I'll start doing some research, and I'd like to do some take his journalistic skills and then put it to video.
Yes, journalistic skills. Thank you very much for that. Kay Sasser says the Avengers Endgame made 230 million in total on Migu. So exactly, like you're looking at the same sort of numbers there. And that's a film that made $2.7 billion at the box office. So, you know, if we were in normal times, like, you know, non-COVID times, I think the film would have done really well at in cinemas. I think loads of people would have gone to see it multiple times. Judging on these numbers, I think China alone would have been huge. So, yeah. 200 million views, TJ says, times 25 per ticket equals lots of money bags. Many money bags. Hill Avery says a lot of those views in China are paid rentals, by the way. You get unlimited views after 7 days, but they pay for each view before 7 days on certain platforms. Yeah, he's right. Or he or she, Hill. It's a lot of them. I think it's on. Well, the one I was looking at specifically was Bilibili, which is a platform where you have to rent it, and then you've got 7 days to watch it. So it means that people rented it in China, watched it, and then rewatched it before the 7 days were up. Which
So that's
Jesus, is that true?
it's really it's just stupid numbers, stupid numbers, brilliant but stupid. So Bilibili is 8.7 million people viewed it on Bilibili, which is that's the one I was looking at. So that number is pretty accurate. Because I think some of them probably would be trailer views, but not that many. So what else do we have here? We have Sean Harrigan says the only number Hamada cares about is single or double patties. He's definitely going into the burger business after this.
Hamada burger.
What we said, Christian Disciple says hashtag restore the Snyderverse. We need to get the Snyder cut into theaters. Samba TV is a legit source. The head of it said it was a great success. Yes, Samba TV. I never ever doubted Samba TV as being a legitimate source or not. What I'm saying is that there are certain caveats to the number they've had, which they're very open about as well. If you literally just go onto their website, they talk about that. And what I'm saying is that the numbers would probably be more. Actually, they're not probably. They are more.
Yeah, just extrapolate what they're missing, right? And then
yeah, exactly.
That's a good basis to go off of, and
well, it's the only basis to go off as far as the numbers on HBO Max are concerned. Like, it's still insane that we haven't had official numbers for it. And then we had, I remember, you probably remember this as well, James, but there was that weird graphic that Variety came out with, which was showing subscriber numbers when movies came out. Yeah, and it was called Variety's Intelligent Platform. The VIP, the Variety's Intelligence Platform. And they kind of just put in Wonder Woman 1984, Godzilla versus Kong, and what was the other one? Was it Judas and the Black Messiah that they put in?
Yeah.
And then they were showing spikes, and then I'm like, well, yeah, but the spike right before Godzilla versus Kong it's coming from Zack Snyder's Justice League. But they don't put that. And also the numbers, the graph made absolutely no sense.
No, that was right after the Sarnoff hit piece 2 on Deadline, right? Or was it
win-win situation?
Yeah.
It was when Deadline took Samba TV's numbers and kind of twisted it around and said, oh, well, yeah, look, Zack Snyder's Justice League didn't do as well as Wonder Woman 1984, completely forgetting to mention that Wonder Woman 1984 came out on Christmas Day, which is a very big day to release something online.
And wasn't it they were just going like over it was the first 5 minutes of Zack Snyder's Justice League they were gauging it on or something?
Yeah. It was the way that, and I actually think Sil spoke to Dr. Silverman about that.
I gotta say big props to Dr. Silverman for after that article hopping right on Sil's stream and finally agreeing to do it, because I know Sil was after him for a while to get on there. So
yeah,
but yeah, and then after that, and then last week they released. It was Investors Day that they put Zack Snyder's Justice League in the bottom right-hand corner, right next to the Nevers.
Yes.
How insensitive is? So I'd love to talk to this PR department. Are they just like a bunch of old white guys in suits or something? Or is it Jeff Johns?
I don't know. It's not Jeff Johns. He's not. He's not really that involved. But like the PR department will be an external PR department also. Like this was an AT&T thing, so I don't.
They should hire Fiona.
I really don't know.
Big
it's
shout out
all
to Fiona on Twitter. She really spearheaded the movement. That's for sure.
Yeah. Especially and that is for her. That's because Twitter's banned in China, so. You know, the fact that she was able to do that is just even more insane. Like she's done really, really well. Yeah. Big up to Fiona.
Thank you, Sean.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Sean says nice work, James. Honestly, if you watch that video.
Yeah, but check out Sean's soundtracks on YouTube. He does some excellent. He's got Justice League, his own tracks he's made for the Justice League movie and Army of Dead coming out. He's a brilliant composer. Corey Batten.
What up to Corey? I hope you're doing well. He says, well, hey, what up, guys? Who else do we have in the chat? We have, there's a lot of Hamada burgers Warner Brothers can buy with all that China cash, says E. Rodriguez 2K. They could buy a lifetime supply of Hamada burgers for everyone at Warner Brothers, probably everyone in China. That's a lot of... So sorry, just for fun says give it to Jar Jar. Yeah, of course. Give it to Jar Jar. That's what you should do. Leroy Kong, sorry, says this Black Superman movie is a boycott for me. DC Films is dead. So I mean, again, I'm always someone that I won't judge a movie by the studio, really, even though you probably should. But there are a lot of people that are involved in making a film. So this Black Superman movie, I hope it's good. I really, really hope it's good. Especially if they get someone like Barry Jenkins or Regina King or Shaka King to direct, because they're brilliant directors, like really, really good, talented directors. And I know that there are lots of people that would be involved in that film, and especially the rumor is that Michael B. Jordan is probably going to be playing Black Superman or Calvin Ellis.
Yeah.
So
Phil had tweeted yesterday, I think it was, that there's rumors about it being Kal-El and it being an Elseworld story.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. And I'm sorry, Sil, I didn't see that one. You tweet a lot, man, so it's difficult to keep on top of it.
Machine.
It's a tweet machine. Shaka King is a wonderful director. Judas and the Black Messiah. Yes, so Sil pointed out that King directed Judas and the Black Messiah. I haven't seen that film yet. I really need to watch it. It's not easy to find over here, I think, in France. I need to find it. And David says, "Hey, Edward." Hey, David. He's he's always sharing our videos on Instagram. So he's a big small screen fan. It's lovely to see you in the chat. Right, who else do we have? Do we have any questions? For how much Warner Brothers sold Army of the Dead IP to Netflix? Does anyone know? I didn't know they sold the IP.
Well, they were sitting on it for a couple years, right? And they did nothing with it.
Yeah, I think they didn't do it because, well, the last movie to have been made in the franchise was the previous Zack Snyder film, wasn't it? Dawn of the Dead. So, yeah, I think it might have been a dormant IP, actually. Again, that would have to be something I'd have to look into. But yeah, it's another instance of Warner Brothers sitting on an IP for years and not doing anything with it.
Classic WB.
Classic WB. Philip Castillo says, "How much money did they lose, Warner Brothers, with China? What are the suits saying?" So I think you're asking how much money did Warner Brothers lose with the not having released.
How much did they leave on the table? Yeah,
I honestly think. I think that the film. I mean, this is a very, very low estimate. I'm thinking round about 750 million at least. Like well, no, not so. Sorry, 500 million at least they would have been able to make if they'd released it in China, in cinemas. It could be more. They could have made more because, to be honest, there weren't that many films coming out. And then you see the films that did come out. Literally, Godzilla vs. Kong was beaten by a really small Chinese movie at the Chinese box office. China was not interested in the films that Warner Brothers was releasing in cinemas. So they released Mortal Kombat. They released Godzilla vs. Kong. Both of those films did all right. Godzilla vs. Kong did pretty well, but it did get beaten at the box office by a pretty low budget Chinese movie. I really think if they'd released Zack Snyder's Justice League in China, people in China would have just watched that movie over and over and over again. Again, it's very much in like movies in China do tend to be quite long. I know that because I went to see a movie. I spent a couple of months in China and went to see a movie, quite a few movies there, some Chinese movies. They are long. They are very long. Not as long as Bollywood films, but tend to be about 3 hours long. And it's just the way they make films. You know, they've been doing it that way for quite some time now. They like those sorts of films, and they seem to really enjoy the SnyderVerse and those films before Zack Snyder's films made quite a lot of money in China, and it was only getting more and more and more interest. So yeah, they messed up. So they really messed up. They should have released it in China. The reason why is obvious: is they didn't want it to succeed. They just wanted to release
why,
it.
Then go watch the video we just released today.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right, who else do we have? James knows the art of the power nap. He really does.
So does Sassafras, I'll tell you that much. And Hill says, if SS and WB 2022 slate is successful, Snyder versus Dead, I don't think the 2022 slate is going to be as successful as they hope. I think Suicide Squad will be. I mean, it's James Gunn, and that's why they greenlit the Peacemaker series, and it's already in production. But the other properties I have to be sold on yet. But again, we haven't seen anything yet. We've just seen title cards. So
yeah, exactly. And also, Warner Brothers has a history of giving us title cards and no movie. So,
oh god, yeah, notorious.
Yes, yeah, they do that all the time. So I think what is SS the Suicide Squad? Yeah,
correct.
Is what yeah. So the Suicide Squad comes out this year, doesn't it? It's August 2021. Yeah. So that film, again, I hope it comes out in cinemas, but I don't. It's going to be coming out on HBO Max, isn't it? So I'm pretty sure it's going to be made. It's going to be released in a similar way to, all the other films that we've had.
Wonder Woman 84 and
yeah. I'd hope it do well. Again, I don't know. Snyder can make a better movie in his driveway than Whedon can with his stagecraft setup. Shame. Oh man, you know what? The whole Whedon thing for me is it's not difficult to take because he's that honestly people have known for years that he's an absolute dick, but he did make one of my favorite series of all time, which is Firefly, and I really loved that growing up. And then he also made Serenity, which I also really loved. And you know what? The first Avengers film isn't bad either. So he's made some good stuff, but at the end of the latter part of his career, which is now going to be the end of his career, I'm pretty sure, it got bad. It got bad towards the end of his career.
But we did learn about all his hits, but he was still a jerk, putting it mildly, during that. It's kind of like this Kevin Spacey syndrome, you know what I mean?
Yes, similar.
He was Hollywood's worst kept secret, I think. So,
like that's the thing. It's like Kevin Spacey for me. Like his performance in what's it called? Forgetting the name now. The Usual Suspects.
Yeah,
is just insane. It's so good, and it's like it's difficult to kind of differentiate between the actor and the person.
I can't watch his scenes in Baby Driver anymore.
Yeah,
like,
and it creeps
especially
you out,
when
doesn't
calling
it?
Like what's the actor's name? Ansel
Elgort.
Yeah, he's calling him baby all the time. So
but Ansel Elgort is also a fucking creep as well. Like, sorry,
is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's some nasty stuff coming out about him that came out a while back.
Oh,
but it just happens. It happens so much now. So it's like you've just kind of got to just. It's like almost like when you're just waiting for the the tea to spill. Really, it's like it's a weird situation that we're in now, where it's like there's so much out there about these people, and there's so much with the internet and everything that you're going to know, which is a good thing as well, because these things should be put out there. Like honestly, the Kevin Spacey thing was going on for years and no one was saying anything about it.
That's
the Harvey Weinstein thing as well was this guy got so many films made, and films that I love made
that we grew up with.
Yeah, exactly. So it's difficult to know how to feel about it. Yeah. And I think Mikey's asking me if that was true about Ansel Elgort. So Prince Zodiac says, you said Clint was making you cry during the Bad Batch overnight deal. That comment was yesterday.
Yeah, I guess, again, like I said, the days are just kind of blurring together this week, more so than usual. So
I don't get that. What was happening there?
Because when we're trying to film Clint's closing statement on the socials and everything, and it just, man, I have it recorded. I'm going to put up on the Patreon because honestly, I was in tears. I couldn't breathe. He was absolutely hilarious. It was like when we were recording the SnyderVerse voiceover, and then we got a bit loopy there because we were so overtired.
And by the way, I've noticed that there are 55 people watching and only 39 likes. So you know what? I'm going to do
over there and hit the fucking like button. Hit the fucking like button. Do it now. Fucking do it now.
I got another one there for you, James. And then Mikey says, "Brilliant Hamada video." Thank you very much, but a lot of it all has to go to this side has to go to James. He was up all night doing that, and he said, and Mikey goes, "Was that Ed's Cat Britain audition? Which part is it now or in the video?" Let us know.
The video.
Oh, good. And then Manv says, anything about 2 Minute Man? I think is that the prequel to Our Man?
Yeah, that's starring Kevin Spacey. Oh no!
Oh dear. Yeah, that's not. I haven't got anything for you there on that one. Just for fun says, I wonder if Warner Brothers is aware. Warner Brothers aware if Zack Snyder's Justice League was successful in China. I just want to know if they feel trembling or scared. So
well, Toby's jumping ship apparently.
Yeah, that's the biggest. Toby's leaving. I mean, yeah, they know. They definitely know. They also know how well the film's done worldwide, and they know that the film's done a lot better than they wanted it to do. Ideally, they would want this film to just have been watched by the hardcore Snyderverse fans, and then just be like, okay, that lot watched it, us lot. We watched it. They're the only people that have watched it. They're the only people that care about it. But the fact of the matter is, a lot more people watched this movie than they expected, and a lot more people really liked this movie than they expected. The critics really liked it. Like, you look at the difference on Rotten Tomato scores between Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's night and day. So it did a lot better than they wanted it to do. Right. Who else do we have in the chat? We have. What if AT&T is waiting for all the numbers to be calculated and then drop the bomb on Warner Brothers Studio for them to explain? Joss, Anne, and Toby. Yeah, they might do that. They might very well do that. Again, it's not usual that they would do something like that. They did actually hire Anne Sarnoff. She was at the BBC before. So that, I don't know if they'd fire her. They probably would, given how badly how badly they've been doing. Maybe. Also, that terrible interview is reasons alone is a good enough reason to get rid of her, because that was awful. That interview, it was so.
I'm just gonna jump down the comments real quick, and then we can go back up. Because I know this cat here, Kazakh.
Kazakh is
man.
Пошли, все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
Cocainum. Who else do we have in the chat? We have.
There was a good question here. Well, Philip wants to know what your sources have been saying lately about the environment. I guess about Zack Snyder's Justice League and AT&T and WB. You told me a little bit yesterday. We put in the video that we did last weekend. We recorded, but anything new the last couple of days that they've been saying?
Well, again,
mayhem still.
At the moment, I honestly, this is the whole problem, is I can't really talk about what's going on in Warner Brothers now, and you know why, James. That's a bit of an issue. But what I do know
maybe
is
we'll come back to that later.
Well, I can say one thing, is that there was an exodus. There was an exodus of people, and it's similar. It's kind of. It's not similar, but it's there. I mean, if you go back in time, I don't know if you remember when the Sony hack happened. I think this was in 2000.
And they all had to go down to the basement and get all their Blackberries. Did you know that? That was true.
I did know that, but also that was like, for Sony, that was terrible because they had so many people leave the company, so many people, and now. There's something similar that's happening over at Warner Brothers, is that a lot of people are leaving to go to other places. Disney is one of them. Netflix is another one. Lots of streaming platforms are now taking up a lot of people that were working specifically in Warner Brothers and specifically in the HBO department. So this is something that's at the moment, it's really not looking good for Warner Brothers. Again, I'm not going to talk about people's contracts and what was happening there, but there was a lot of that as well that was going on. Money was an issue, and people weren't getting paid what they felt they should be paid, and that has been an issue at Warner Brothers now for quite some time, and Warner Media in general. Now, the best thing to do, I think, would be for AT&T to step in and really take more control. Like, at the moment, as far as I'm aware, AT&T is really not doing that. They're just letting Warner Media run itself, and it's running itself into the ground. And it's been doing that over a number of years now. Like, basically, I think I did talk about this in an article about how basically Time Warner was going to go was going to go bust before AT&T came in and bought them. They were very, very close to that. So they were bought for, I think it was 85 billion, which is a lot to buy the company. And the reason they bought the company for that much was really because of the streaming game. The AT&T really, really wanted to get into the streaming game, and that's HBO Max now. That's where they are at now, and they bought it for that money based on how much money they think that property alone, HBO Max, that streaming service, can make in the future. They think it's going to be huge. It probably will be, but as it stands at the moment, with Warner Brothers Studio, with Warner Brothers Pictures, they're still a very old school outfit. They do things in a very, very old school manner, and that has to change moving forward. At the moment, it's not. We might be moving into an era where they might start to realize that they're going to have to change. A lot of people inside Warner Brothers were not happy with the move that they just ended up doing anyway, because they had no choice in the matter, with the move of putting out all of their movies, their big blockbusters, on HBO Max in 2020 and 2021, well, specifically 2021. That was apparently not a very popular move inside Warner Brothers. I'm not surprised, but let's just say there are a lot of issues happening inside Warner Brothers. Hopefully it'll change. Hopefully moving forward it'll change. The mere fact that they're still around is a miracle. I'm going to be honest. They are an old school studio though.
I'm gonna cover this one.
Yeah, go on.
Do you think Magic Lux? Do you think it would be cool if we get a DC Mortal Kombat universe crossover? Could you imagine Spectre fighting alongside Batman? Yeah, that'd be amazing. I don't know if you ever played the game that came out in like 2005. It's called MK versus DC. So one of my favorite fighting games back in the day. Everyone would try and be cheap online with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and I just whip out Captain Marvel at Shazam now. And just do a whole bunch of lightning blasts on them and thunder punches. But of course, we could see it. If there's money to be made, then they'll think about it and they'll do it. But I think the issue with that is the distribution rights and splitting the rights between the IPs, because you have New Line Cinema and then you have Warner Brothers and Warner Media now that is handling the DC films. So they have to come to like a sweet spot deal with that. What I could see them doing is maybe doing some spin-off Injustice films, because that comic book flew under the radar for a long time and then just absolutely took off based off the video game itself. So how far are you into that, by the way?
I'm on the second volume of Injustice.
Okay, excellent.
It's really good, and you can kind of tell that Zack Snyder was inspired a lot by Injustice. I agree. I really think he was, and the comic especially. I mean, the game has the same kind of storyline going through it. If you play the story mode in the game, it has this similar sort of storyline. But honestly, the comic is so good, and I'm surprised that I never read it earlier. I was kind of annoyed with myself about that, really. Yeah, it's really, really good. Everyone should check out the Injustice comic book.
Definitely, the art by Bruno Redondo and Xavier is absolutely fantastic. And I'm drawing a blank on the writer's name now. It's Tom something. I can't remember. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Tom. Thank you, Multiverse Productions, for the kind work on that video.
Thank you. Yeah. Again, a lot of that has to go to James. He worked very hard on that. Right. Do we have any other comments?
Yeah,
before we maybe wrap up the video. Kazakhs, yeah. We say coffee or milk tea. Really? I think, is that someone saying that I said tea and that's weird?
I don't know. I'm Canadian, English. Man, and
I'm English.
I drink tea every day. So
yeah.
I can't actually drink coffee anymore. I can't do it.
Neither can I. Really, and I can't even have caffeine, to be honest with you.
No.
The only soda I can have pop I can have is root beer. So
I'm getting old. Kazakh says Marvel going forward with the Black Captain Britain. Sorry, Edward. Oh man, you know what? Maybe I wouldn't be against that.
that deserves.
And same Sonic, different case. What case are you talking about? In that, I don't know. It says Mikey. So Mikey.
Come on, just fucking Mikey.
Fucking Mikey. And John McIntyre says, and Toby and Waltz, the Larry Moe and Curly Joe of Warner Brothers. Oh dear.
Yeah, but who's Shemp then?
I mean, who could? Well, Jason?
Stanky? Yeah, Shemp is Stanky.
Stanky. Imagine if that's what they call him. Hey, Stanky. Mikey says. Mikey says must be quite Hamada. What must be quiet? Hamada's sense tingling. What's going on there, Mikey? Are you all right?
Yeah. He knows there's some WB spies going on.
Oh dear. Sean says both Mikey and Sil in the chat. Super
Team Megaforce.
Yeah. Are we doing? We're not doing one.
How many likes do we have now? 37 still.
Yeah, it hasn't really gone up, so we're gonna have to do another one. We're gonna have to do another push. No, but actually,
do you want that one?
No, that was
Go
not the
over
right.
there and hit the fucking like button. All right, you hit it now. You motherfucking hit the fucking like. I just told you to hit the motherfucking like button. So you gotta do it right now. Do it.
That has become its own thing. It was originally meant. I think I was so tired. It was originally meant to be what's his face, a Michael Caine impression. It turned into something completely different. I'm okay. I can't say this guy's name, but he says, "So there's hope, Edward. There's always hope. There's always hope. You know, things get remade, rebooted all the time in Hollywood. When there's money to be made, there's a possibility of it happening." Now, the video that we did, the reason why we're talking about the Snyderverse being dead is because it's dead at Warner Brothers. You know, the way Warner Brothers is thinking about this and the way the company is structured at the moment, they're not looking to do that. They're not looking to greenlight it. Now, if Toby, and same sort of different cases, Faith, Alfred, Faith, exactly. So if Toby Emmerich does leave, it will really, I mean, he's only got 18 months left on his contract. So he was probably going to leave anyway, let's be honest. I don't think he was going to get that contract renewed. If he were to leave, it would really kind of change things up a bit. I think people, first off, it very much depends on who they bring in. I would wonder, like, would AT&T promote Ann Sarnoff? I hope not, but they might do. You know, they did bring her in.
Why did you just put that out into the universe, Edward? Why?
They might do that.
We are in the process, having many conversations with the talent, the agents, and the exhibitors.
Okay. Listen to me. Well, this is why I think this is what they might do.
Oh, here comes the rant.
I think Toby might leave. I think he probably will leave. He's obviously looking for a way out. He wants to go to Netflix, which I don't know whether Netflix will want him, to be honest. But, you know, fine, all right. He goes to Netflix. Why? I think this must have been planned a long time ago. I think this was planned back when they promoted Ann Sarnoff to Warner Media Studios. Warner Media Studios CEO, which is a completely made-up title. No one before her had that position. I think it was a stopgap between her becoming Warner Media chairman.
But she mentioned it so many times in that Deadline article.
Well, that was her position.
Yeah, she's so proud of it.
Yeah, she's proud of it because it's higher than what she was before. She was. I think they're going to scrap the. I don't think there's going to be a Warner Brothers chairman anymore. I don't think that's going to be a thing. I think they're going to completely get rid of that title, and I just think they're going to put Ann Sarnoff in charge of Warner Media. They're just going to keep her in that position that she's in now, and they're not going to have anyone else. I think it'll just finish like that, and I think Warner Brothers they must have a CEO now, right? Or is that Toby Emmerich?
That's Toby Emmerich.
So he's the chairman and CEO.
Yep.
All right. Now I think. Right. I'm going to give it 70% sure that Ann Sarnoff is going to be promoted, and I think she will be given control of Warner Brothers. I think that because why would they invent like Warner Media Studio CEO? It makes no sense. It's like Warner Media is not a studio. Warner Media is just Time Warner rebranded. That's all it is. And Time Warner was just the company of, that had everything together, like HBO, Warner Brothers. It was all involved. It was all incorporated into Time Warner.
It's just that power struggle, right, between the three branches.
Yeah, and I think AT&T is a company that probably just at the moment all they give a shit about. Excuse my French, but all they give a shit about is HBO Max. That's all they care about. Now, the only reason that they'll keep on bankrolling Warner Brothers is so they can make movies to put onto HBO Max. That's actually the only reason. They don't give a shit about putting movies into cinemas. That's not their prerogative, which is why a lot of people were very worried when AT&T bought up Time Warner, because they were saying, well, AT&T is just going to destroy the studio. So it looks like that's the way it's going. So again, a lot of people that are saying, oh, AT&T come in and step in and continue the Snyderverse. Yeah, they might do that. And that would be great for the Snyderverse. But what they'll do is they'll put it on HBO Max. So then for me, as a fan of cinema, I'm thinking, well, actually, that could be a terrible thing, because that means that then these films won't be coming out into cinemas, because AT&T doesn't want to put the money into releasing movies into cinemas, because they're thinking, especially after this pandemic, fewer people are going to go to cinema. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think after the pandemic's done, I think we're going to see, like we did in the 1920s after the First World War, people are going to go mad and going to go out and going to want to go and see movies and want to go and see concerts and want to go, it'll be like the Roaring '20s again. That's what I'm predicting anyway. I think more and more people go out, especially after being locked up for a year and more. So I'm hoping it's going to go that way, and I'm hoping AT&T will see that and be like, all right, fine, we're going to have to put money into releasing movies into cinemas. Let's get the Snyderverse back on track. Let's put it on HBO Max. Let's also put it out into cinemas. That's the best scenario, the best case scenario. I hope that made sense.
Can I just say, it did make sense, Edward. Same Sonic, different case. You mentioned what his name meant. Now it's like been going on in my brain. I just picture a bunch of different Sonic games. Because they're basically all the same thing, and then getting swapped out to different gaming cases. Let me know if I'm right, but I'm probably way off the mark. So
probably right. And I see a lot of people saying, okay, I used to wreck people online with the Joker.
Yeah, I probably ran into you, I bet. Peto.
Incidentally, apparently the rumor is that Joker 2 is actually in the works. There's a rumor that's going around.
Oh.
Yeah. Would it be called Jokers? Joker 2? 2... I don't know, I'm trying to think of a funny title for that.
Have a good evening, Chicken.
Okay, thank you very much for coming.
Jesse Allen.
And
hello.
It says #HamadaBurger. That's a thing now. We've actually made that a thing. That's a pretty good thing. We should be proud of that.
We took Mikey's bit and we ran with it.
Yeah. Right. HamadaBurger. Should we round out the show?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to go to bed. I think you need to go to bed. I think everyone that's watching needs to go to bed.
I really appreciate everyone tuning in tonight.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this gave you some sort of hope. And please go and watch the video that James spent hours on, and I only spent, I think, 3 hours on it.
Edward put a lot of work into it. It's based off like a dozen articles that he spent millions of hours writing, so you can't say you didn't put a lot of work into it, brother.
Well, I had a very good
appreciate all the views. Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah. And yes, like and subscribe if you could do that as well. And go over to Small Screen, which is at small-screen.co.uk. Follow us at Small Screen Co. That's everywhere. Small Screen Co. on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. That's the first time I've ever said that. I feel very YouTube-y now, having said that. And yeah, #Restore the Snyderverse.
Go over there and hit the fucking like button. All right, you hit it now. You motherfucking hit the fucking like. I just